this episode I'm going to be taking a look at Super Mario 3D Land. That's right, fuck the timeline. Yep, I regret that immediately. Alright. Son of a bitch, this game came out 9 years before 3D Land, and it's a remake. Who needs existence anyways? Hey, what's up, it's your boy Rawk. 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 Hey, what's up? It's your boy Rawk, and welcome to Rawk Plays the Games, a show where I fuck up, apparently. So yeah, because of the order I decided to review the series in, completely fucking up the continuity of the series, I created a rift in the timeline that my skinny white arse fell right into. And now I'm here, in the void, nothing but a disembodied voice. It sucks dick. I'm so close to finishing the series. Why did I have to pick now to fuck with space-time? I don't really like to talk politics, but I have to try this. God, if you're there, can I at least be back in my room? This place is way too purple. Please? If not, I'll review Sonic Forces instead. Yep, thank you. Wow. You sick son of a bitch. Well, we're finally here. The last leg of the saga. Let's finally take a look at Super Mario 64 DS.
Mario.
Super Mario 64 DS released in 2004 for the Nintendo DS, and was made almost entirely to show off the power of Nintendo's up-and-coming handheld. In all honesty, I have absolutely no idea when I got this game, but I do know it's the game in the series that I have the most memories with. I played this game so much! For quite a while it was my only handheld Mario game, so every time I went on a car trip I popped this baby in and had a blast. I remember there was one time I tried to 100% the game, I got 149 stars, and after 10 hours I still couldn't find the last one. I'm only slightly exaggerating. For quite a while this game was my absolute favourite in the series, until Galaxy 2 bumped it into second, and Odyssey bumped it into third. Let's see if that changed. Being a remake, you'd expect Super Mario 64 DS to have the exact same story as the original. So no story at all, but this game does the unthinkable and adds some sort of plot to the game. The story begins with the exact same cutscene that the original starts with.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Luigi and Wario join the fun this time around, and the three get into some Looney Tunes shenanigans before heading for the castle. As the camera pans out, we see, holy f***, it's Green Barney! Lakitu carries Bubblebutt here to the ground and does that, and explains that Mario, Luigi and Wario have been gone a suspiciously long time. Go! Throughout the course of the game, you save the three Musketeers, and the boss enemy guarding them reveals that them being kidnapped was the doing of Bowser. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Did you really think a fucking piranha plant could do this? So yeah, Bowser kidnapped the princess and kidnapped three of his biggest rivals, but somehow overlooked the fucking dinosaur asleep on top of the castle. Good job. This is actually the only time in the series where you start as someone other than Mario, which is all sorts of neat. Outside of this, there's nothing else to the story. But hey, it's more than the original. Wait, I stand corrected. Only Mario was allowed to fight Bowser. Luigi, Wario and Yoshi are left out in the cold. The definition's been blank all these years. The story of Super Mario 64 DS is kind of a mixed bag. It builds on the original and definitely has more than that game, but it also doesn't hold a candle to the heights of the other entries in the series. But this begs the question, what the hell's going on here? It's the same story as Mario 64, but it's also not? Is it an alternate reality version of the same events? Does it take place after Mario Odyssey and see Bowser return to his previous methodology but enhanced to be more successful? Is it something that nobody gives a f*** about? Well, in the interest of pleasing God, I'm gonna go with the second one. Whoo boy! If ever there was a game with a divisive control scheme, it's Skyward Sword. But you know, this game's also up there. This game is a 3D platformer that released on the DS. The DS. The one with the D-pad and nothing else. The fucking DS! Because of the choice in hardware, the game has only 8 directional movement and a run button, rather than the full 360-degree control of the original, which had no run button. Let's talk about this. This control scheme isn't bad, but my god it's not ideal. The level design is ripped right out of the original, and thus wasn't made with 8-directional movement in mind, which can make things feel kind of awkward at times. It can also be annoying to hold down the run button at all times, because let's be honest, there aren't many instances where I wouldn't want to be running. At the same time though, this control scheme just feels natural to me. By no means preferable, but as someone who's played this game all his life, it feels pretty good. Now I need to put an asterisk in there somewhere, because a large chunk of my playtime of the game was on the 3DS, which has a circle pad. So I've been playing with the illusion of analog control. I've been living a lie and I'm damn proud of it. I don't have much experience with the D-pad, truth be told, but from what experience I do have, yikes, it's not good. So if you're on the side of the fence that thinks the D-pad controls are too fucking abysmal, Nintendo has you covered. Kind of. Instead of using the D-pad, you have the option to control Mario with the touchscreen. You see, it's funny, no, the D-pad is bad, but my god it's better than using the touchscreen. I hate controlling the game this way. There are people out there who prefer this control scheme, and I understand and respect those people. Bullshit! In terms of a moveset, this game has the same moveset as the original. Nice. Mario isn't the only person we have to deal with this time around though, as 3 new characters enter the fray. Luigi, this was actually his debut in the 3D Mario series. It baffles me that he wasn't playable before this game, but hey, at least it happened eventually. Luigi lacks the ability to wall jump for some fucking reason. He has a more floaty jump that we would see in later games such as Luigi U in 3D World. He has a game-breaking backflip which turns him into a helicopter, and last but not least, he is Jesus. Wario, he's slow, he's heavy, but he's strong as fuck. He's the only character in the game that can break these blocks. There's like 4 of them in the whole game. And finally, Yoshi! He has his iconic flutter jump and tongue, and can turn enemies into eggs which he can use as projectiles. The game also has a very interesting mechanic at play, where you can put on the cap of another character to play as them. This is only true in the levels themselves, not in the castle grounds, but I love this feature. There's never one ideal character for any given mission, so the ability to change on the fly is something I really appreciate. The 3 caps from the original game are no longer here. Instead, the abilities are given to the different characters, and are obtained through the Power Flower. Mario gets the Wing Caps ability, Wario gets the Metal Caps, and Luigi gets the Invisibility Caps, leaving Yoshi with a brand new ability, the ability to breathe fire. Mario also gets a secondary ability, and he's the only character to do so. His second ability sees the return of the balloon power-up from Super Mario World, and this one's actually pretty fun. Just look at this model, man. I love it. This is the only game in which Wario and Yoshi are directly playable, which is why I just had to leave it for last. It only made sense to cap off with the best selection of characters in the series. That's right, fuck you, princess. Holy fuck, I'm making progress. Overall, the gameplay of this game is weird as fuck. There's so many elements that I love, and some choices that just baffle me to no end. If I had to lean one way or the other though, I'd definitely lean towards the positive, and find peace in the fact that I'm the only person there. Would you look at that? Yet another conflicting element of the game. Let's get this out of the way right now. This game has pretty much the exact same soundtrack as the original. There are a few new songs in there, but for the most part, it's the same thing. Now, is that a bad thing? Absolutely not. Mario 64's soundtrack is still great, so having a slightly enhanced version of it is fine by me. So, in terms of visuals, does this game come out on top of the original? Man, I don't know. I personally think that artistically, this game is better than the original, with more modern designs, better models, and overall more charm. But it is so fucking pixelated. And I know it's because it's on the DS, but a lot of times it just looks off. It's not even like the screen's resolution is the cause of the pixelated visuals, it's the textures themselves. It feels like looking at a beautiful world through a fuzzy, pixely lens. Sure, it's still great, but my god, it could be better. I guess that's just the presentation of this game in a nutshell. It's definitely good, and could have been worse, but the hardware they decided to put it on just holds it back. Unlike with 3D Land, where the game feels at home on the lower spec hardware, Super Mario 64 DS, in some aspects, just leaves me wanting more. But I still love how it looks. It's incredibly nostalgic and honestly really charming. What the fuck is wrong with me? This is the big one, ladies and gentlemen. The thing that differentiates this game from the original the absolute most. The completion process. The original game had the iconic 120 stars, but this game takes that number and bumps it up to a crisp 150. All of the original stars are retained, but they do a lot with the extra 30. All of the levels have one extra star. It's usually a silver star mission, which is totally different than a red coin mission, I swear. There are new levels to save Mario, Luigi and Wario, and each one has 2 stars to track down. There are a few additional one-off levels such as Sunshine Isles here, which is fun. Each of the cap levels also has an additional star, and you typically use a different power to get each of them. Each of the Bowser levels also has an additional star, which is always a switch star, in which you switch, then star. There's also additional stars dotted about the castle that bring the total to 150, and the most infamous of which is the Silver Bunny star. This star sees you catching 8 silver bunnies, which sounds easy enough, until you realise it can take hours to find 1 bunny! However, there is strategy to this, and it's called being repetitive as fuck. When you're playing as Yoshi, 3 bunnies spawn outside of the castle entrance whenever you exit the castle, so if you just keep going in and out of the castle, there's a good chance you'll find them fairly quickly. This is still really annoying. In any discussion surrounding the content of this game, the most praise is given to potentially the best mode in the entire series, the minigame mode. Throughout the entire game, when you catch the bunnies, they'll give you keys. These keys unlock minigames in Princess Peach's Rec Room, which is a fancy way of saying that minigame mode. There are 36 minigames divided among the 4 different characters. Not sure why they did this, but sure. These minigames, they're so fucking good. They're so quick and bite-sized that they're easy to just hop in for a few rounds and be done, but they're also so addictive that you can't put them down and suddenly you'll have spent 15 hours at Luigi's Casino. Luigi was the first instance of gambling in my life. I guess I know where it all went wrong now. There aren't many minigames that stand out to me as straight up bad either. All of the games have their own merit and they're incredibly fun to play. The fact that Nintendo went to all this trouble for something that has absolutely no bearing on the main game is absolutely amazing, and something I'd love to see return someday. If there's one element of the game that's overwhelmingly positive, it's the completion. Nintendo added so much to the game. None of it feels unnecessary or like padding. All of it's legitimate, meaty content that I genuinely love. The added content alone makes this version my absolute favourite to replay. Sure, the controls aren't the best, but I'm more than willing to get past that to play all of the additional content this version has to offer. Super Mario 64 DS, at the end of the day, is a divisive remake of a beloved game. The new content makes it vastly superior to the original in my eyes, but that control scheme holds it back so much. And yet, despite its issues, I absolutely adore this game and vastly prefer it to the original. I think out of the two, this is the version I'm most likely to return to in the future. It's such a nostalgic experience that I'd love to come back to again and again and again. Okay, I did it. I finally did it. I've reviewed the game, proved it's much more different than the original than people think, and I justified breaking the chronological order, so... can I have my body back? Please. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! I'm back, bitches! Fuck my tailbone! Alright, now what to do that I can finally appreciate my physical form. There's so much I've missed doing since I fucked with God. Like playing Animal Crossing and playing Animal Crossing. Well, that was certainly foreboding. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on, man. Is there any negotiating this at all? Okay, yeah, okay, fine. Fine. Is there, is there a deadline? Yeah, okay, fine! Well, I wasn't given a definitive no on the deadline front. That buys me a little time, which is good, because I've got, other things to attend to. Oh, Miyamoto. Forgive me for what I'm about to do. Yep, okay, too far. Yep, that's